Hey guys! Today we're going to be making this cute miniature ice cream truck, so I hope you'll enjoy and let's get started. I first sketched and cut out a template which is going to be the sides for the truck. Then traced that onto a thin sheet of wood that I got in a miniature shop and used my scroll saw to cut it out. And once again, if you don't have the wood, you can also use cardboard. Once you're done, you should have a rather plain looking side for one of the sides, and then for the second piece you want two pieces like this. I then started gluing on some cardstock just to give it some dimension and texture. And if you are using wood, you want to round off the edge on the front. Before gluing this piece of cardstock in place, I made some lines to make the vent, and then after gluing it in place, making sure that there wasn't any glue where the vent itself was, I used my X-Acto knife to kind of open it. And once you've done that, you should have something like this. Next, I cut a piece of wood for the bottom, and once again you can use cardboard if you don't have this. Glue the first pieces together so you have something like this. And then the last piece of cardboard or wood you want to cut is a piece for the back. After gluing that in place, I spray painted the inside, and I am aware that you can still see the wooden texture. If this bothers you, you can either sand it a lot better than what I did, add some cardstock or paper on the inside, or just give it a thicker coat of paint. But because this is a simple version, and because you're not really going to see it once the second piece of the wall or side has been put in place, I just left it as it is. Now measure and cut a piece of cardstock that's going to cover the front and the roof. Glue this in place. I added a handle for the door using a piece of wood from a popsicle stick, and then I just spray painted the entire thing. Next we're going to be working on the wheels. I first glued on some strips of cardstock, and for this one in the back where the side comes off, you want to make sure that the glue doesn't actually touch the removable piece. I then made some super simple wheels using polymer clay. And after baking, I just glued these in place as well. Now for the fun part, you just want to paint it. I used a mix of acrylic paint and then some silver colored alcohol ink. As I tend to do with a lot of the miniatures I make, I made one inspired by one of the more vintage or retro ones, and I also used some grey paint to kind of look like wear and tear, just to make it look a bit more used. I also used cardstock to make a bomba. And yes, I am fully aware that I didn't make any license plates. Dolls just don't seem to care about traffic rules. I made a simple shade thing using some cardstock and some painted fabric. And I attached this together with a barbecue or wooden skewer. I made some simple windows using plastic from some packaging that I tinted using an alcohol-based marker. I made side view mirrors using polymer clay and wire. And I made some simple headlights using translucent polymer clay. Lastly, I just made some super quick popsicles, and for this I first made the base using polymer clay, then baked it, made a mold, and then filled it up using liquid clay mixed with pastel. And then after baking it for a short while, I added the popsicle stick, which is just a small piece from a toothpick. And if you don't have mold putty or liquid clay, you can also just add the popsicle stick to the normal polymer clay. finally, just to make it look a bit more frosty, you can add some white acrylic paint, then seal with glaze, and you're done.